Welcome to the Dynamic Radiologist Podcast, where we feature leading experts in healthcare. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Brownstein.
Hello, Dr. Stephen Brownstein here, and I am the host of the Dynamic Radiologist Podcast. Through this platform, I have the great honor to interview top leaders in health and in business to discuss what they're doing to change the world. Some of the amazing guests I've interviewed include Dr. Jeffrey Kronk, CEO of Spinal Kinetics, Smart Injury Doctors, and Smart Injury Lawyers. Dr. Mike Carberry, CEO of Advanced Medical Integration. Dr. Donald DeFabio and Howard Reese, CEO of the Teledentist. This episode is brought to you by Dynamic Medical Imaging. I started this organization 16 years ago and have experienced consistent growth and opportunity ever since. We have the only phonar upright MRI in central and northern New Jersey. We have had patients consistently coming to our center from over 20 miles away. Over 25% of our patients are either claustrophobic or have failed to have their MRIs completed in a closed unit. They have come here to have their studies performed in a phonar upright open MRI. We've had over 3,000 doctors from New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania refer their patients to us. What is really telling, though, is that those same doctors who've referred their family and friends have come here themselves to have their imaging done. Please check out the testimonial comments and interviews on our website, www.dynamicmedicalimaging.com, and see for yourself what your fellow patients have said about their great experience at Dynamic Medical Imaging. Our second sponsor today is Spinal Kinetics, a company that I started over 10 years ago. We help medical providers of all specialties evaluate for the presence, location, and severity of spinal ligament injuries. If you do stress radiographs in any format, then you can send them to our trained doctors who use our special technology. Spinal Kinetics developed the technology called CRMA, or Computerized Radiographic Mensuration Analysis, which is an advanced X-ray measurement technology to accurately measure the exact abnormal motion problems that occur with a spinal ligament injury. If you have any questions, go to www.thespinalkinetics.com or email us at support@thespinalkinetics.com. Well, today I have the great pleasure to interview Sharon Patel, who's a pillar in Union, New Jersey. Her and her husband opened Patel Printing Plus in 1976 and has consistently grown since then. They work with a variety of different businesses in Union and Union County, and she's also active in the community as former president of the Union Chamber of Commerce and executive, and she still remains on the executive committee. She is president of the Rotary Club of Union, serving as membership chair. She is a trustee of the executive board of Gateway Family YMCA and many other positions. And she truly believes in the power of print and also the power of creating networking relationships. And Sharon, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me, Dr. B.
It's my pleasure. So tell the audience a little bit more about you. I didn't want to steal all your thunder.
Oh, well, my company is Patel Printing Plus, which is a full-service printing company established, like you said, in 1976. We own our 5,500 square foot building on Commerce Avenue, right next to the Aldi's and CVS. We design, print, and mail in a creative, socially responsible, and environmentally sensitive manner, and we're known for outstanding service and exceeding customer expectations. If you're familiar with Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Outliers, the premise is that the key to success in any skill is a matter of practicing for around 10,000 hours. So each member of our staff has at least quadruple that amount of time. And we all love what we do. We love coming to work each day to take on the challenge of creating for our customers in an expeditious manner. We're organized, process-driven, and highly systematic. We uphold our integrity and reputation by keeping our promises, delivering on time, and we guarantee our work. Since our inception, we've always been on a quest of continuous improvement and learning, participating in hundreds of workshops over the years, seminars and courses that help us to be the best version of ourselves. And collectively, I think we're a pretty awesome team. The benefit to our customers is that we're excellent at what we do, and we do it quickly and easily. And we're experts in the design, printing, and marketing for businesses and medical practices. Our clients save time and money because we're a convenient one-stop source and we know what we're doing. We love helping our clients design and develop a coordinated marketing arsenal, building it as their requirements and budget permit. Sometimes it's one piece at a time, and sometimes it's the whole package. Our clients consist of small and medium-sized businesses, a lot of nonprofit organizations, dentists, and medical practices. We design and print anything from business cards, stationery, forms, brochures, marketing pieces, postcards, signage, and promotional giveaway items. And besides the typical projects that breeze through the normal print shop, we also take on those very quirky, challenging, and sometimes complex projects that other printers don't have the capacity to handle nor the desire to do so. We've added a lot of services and equipment over the years, and it's all been driven by our customers' needs. I've personally spent over 40 years learning how to manage, grow, and market a business that has probably ridden more tides of change than most industries have. We've all been immersed in the change from an industrial society to an information-driven society, and have evolved into quick change artists and managers of perpetual motion in the process. You know, Steve, when you consider that the average person wears more computing power now on their wrist than existed in the entire world prior to 1961, it puts today's business world into a quick perspective. And if you add the past year of COVID to the challenges of doing business, you quickly realize that perhaps the best thing about a group like the Chamber of Commerce is that we're all in this together. The Chamber is a place where it's okay to talk about the state of business because everyone's challenged, everyone understands, and we all enjoy the value of a network of local businesses. We know that people don't do business with a company, they do business with people they know, people they trust, and people they like. So networking is probably the most powerful marketing tool available. When you have a relationship with someone, they're much more likely to do business with you. Networking is the logical way to create new relationships and strengthen those existing ones. I can't say enough about being a member of the Chamber and getting to know the members of the Chamber and having access to people that you normally wouldn't have access to, and getting to know them, to like them, to trust them, to use their services, and then in turn to have them use your services. The reality is there's little we can do about the global state of affairs, but if you've been running your business, or your life for that matter, in a big comfort zone, this is probably a good time to shake things up and implement some strategies to combat this pandemic economy that we've all been riding through for over a year. I believe that this is the time to get better than your competition, streamline and hone your methodology of doing business, tighten up your operations, and simply get back to basics. It's also the time to step up your marketing. Most people have cut back thinking that they're saving money, and that's a huge mistake. But you can make it work to your advantage by taking your marketing up a notch or two and commanding more attention, because your competition likely stopped marketing over a year ago. When they go out of business, you'll have top of mind awareness in the marketplace because you've implemented a marketing strategy. And it's really simple. A lot of people wonder, what is marketing anyway? It's every contact that any part of your business has with any segment of the public. I'm going to say it again. It's every contact that any part of your business has with any segment of the public. It's all the little things, from the way you answer the phone, to your signage, to your customer strategy. It's your logo, it's your brand, the choices you make with color, paper selection, paper texture, ink, fonts, and cohesiveness of design. Marketing is what your emails look like. It's the message you deliver, the technology you use. It's your reputation. It's the speed of service, your hours of operation, your billing strategy, your community involvement, how quickly you respond to inquiries, how clients are greeted in your office, and the personalization of each and every point of contact. If you've never taken a look at those moments of truth in your business, now is a good time to do so. It's also a great way to get your staff on board with creating awareness of the observations that customers and prospects make about your business, which form the image of your company. Consistent, repetitive marketing is crucial to the success of any business. The more that your prospects and customers hear your name, the more business you'll get. Interestingly, an analysis in sales by the Direct Marketing Association discovered that 45% of businesses never follow up with prospects. 25% make a second contact and then they stop. 12% make 3 contacts and stop. And only 10% make more than 3 contacts with a prospect. But wait, there's more. Only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% are made on the second contact. 5% are made on the third contact, and 10% on the fourth contact. But listen to this. 80% of all sales are made between the 5th and 12th contact. Woo, that's powerful information. So the value of consistency is clear. You need to keep sending your message over and over again. Don't give up. Direct mail, email, telephone, and in person. Then do it again and again and again and repeat again, and don't stop. The more they see your name, the more familiar they're going to feel about you. The more comfortable they'll feel about you, and the more apt they'll be to eventually do business with you, because you've become a known quantity in their life. They're hearing from you on a regular, consistent basis. And the good news is, you don't have to be a marketing genius or have a charismatic personality or be wildly attractive. You don't need a degree or a specialized experience. You just need to be visible, accessible, and promote your message. Do it frequently, consistently, and through a multi-channel strategy, remembering that everything you do that is called marketing influences your credibility, image, and success. And by the way, your results will exponentially increase when you add telephone and face-to-face contact to your marketing arsenal. There's the value of an organization like the Chamber of Commerce, where people come together and you get a lot of face-to-face contact with people who will eventually be your friends and possibly potential clients or customers. So remember that your present and future customers are so busy and stressed out that they don't have time to seek you out. You need to seek them out. So how do you achieve top of mind awareness to these people who are already so time constrained and stressed? Well, email marketing has become a vital tool for a marketing arsenal. The delivery of the message is virtually free, and it sends an immediate message. It's most effectively used for a quick announcement, a special offer, a short message that's easy to read on a monitor. It's absolutely not effective for intensive text or a lot of detail. Think about it. If your inbox is anything like mine, managing the sheer numbers of messages can be time-consuming and stressful. I just quickly delete extraneous messages. I organize the critical ones, and I keep others I might be interested in reading later, which often never happens. However, email is a valuable component of any marketing strategy when it's appropriately used. It has to reflect your image, be free of errors and typos, and be concise and easy to read and look attractive on a page. In my business, we use it for sending coupons or monthly specials to our customers. However, digital marketing is not an adequate substitute for direct mail. Some businesses use email as their sole marketing strategy because it's free, and again, this is a mistake. A Harris Interactive poll found that a majority of respondents believe that printed media is easier to read than the digital equivalent. 68% of the respondents said that they feel more comfortable when they have something on paper in their hand, something tangible versus a computer screen. Response rates for direct mail have held fairly steadily over the past few years, averaging 3.4% for a house list and 1.3% for a prospect list. But those response rates will increase significantly when you repeat the same message. For example, a standard response rate of 1% will likely double when that same piece is sent to the same recipient the second time. And when direct mail and email are combined in a multi-channel campaign, these response rates will increase across the board. In fact, if executed well, your response should be more than double. A two-ply marketing effort containing email and direct mail will strengthen your image and your message, especially when your marketing campaigns maintain a consistent look and a consistent message in both print and email. So they should have a very similar look. We strongly recommend postcard campaigns because postcards are very easy for a person to scan when they come through in somebody's mail. And if you think about your mail today, it's probably a heck of a lot lighter than it was a year ago. So when you're using direct mail as part of your marketing effort, you have a lot less competition in the mail and your message is bound to stand out. So Steve, that's what we do. We create the look, the content, the process, and the tools to make it happen, the printed piece, the mailing, the delivery to the post office. And from start to finish, we really treat it like it's our baby, making sure that the client has the right message that's going out on time and has the look that represents what they do and who they are.
That's great. So let's go over a couple of the key points to reinforce, just like you said, you have to see a piece more than once. So it's been said, marketing isn't everything, it's the only thing. And I truly believe that. And Dan Kennedy says, one is the deadliest number in business. You shouldn't use just one channel. You have to have, as you said, multi-channel. And our emails are probably the most crowded space. The mailbox is the least crowded space. And people still use ABC file. They take the mail out, and they say, they go in front of the garbage can. The A list, the A pile is the stuff that they have to take care of now. The B pile is hopefully what they get to, and 3 is the crap that they just throw in the garbage can. So it makes sense to have multi-channel, that you just don't rely on mail, don't just rely on email, and use every touch point as you can. Vance Morris, I just listened to a talk he gave. He worked at Disney for 10 years, and he created a thing called Disneyfy your business. Basically, create an experience for your customer that they remember, more than remember, tell other people about. So, one of the things that they did at Disney, when they were building Disneyland is they have, I don't know how many acres for plants, but they couldn't finish everything. So there was weeds. So Walt told his crew, make up some Latin names and put it in front of the weeds. And people thought, well, that's interesting. How do I get that Latin name plant for my garden? So, they're Disney is, and he gives like a full week course. People come down and he shows them how they do things in Disney. They paint the fence every day. It's not because they're trying to save money. If the bean counters got hold of it, they say, well, why don't you do it every other day or every third day or once a week? It's uniformity, as you said, consistency. The message, your message has to be congruent throughout your organization. Whether it's picking up the phone, how you answer the phone, to a piece of mail that you sent to a doctor or a lawyer or a customer, client. It's extremely important that you have a consistent message. You have a through line, a string going through that's uniform throughout, that they know what you stand for and what you don't stand for, and who you stand for and why you stand for it. And you have to put your stake in the ground. This is who I am. This is who I'm for. This is how we do it. And you have to also have constant, never-ending improvement, because you never can get it 100% right. And it's obviously all businesses are in a competitive field, and you have to, customer service is probably at the lowest now it's ever been. Go to the doctor's office, you take your life in your hands, because it's dangerous. They can't get good staff, they can't retain good staff. There's a shortage of qualified people. Doctors running around, trying to make a living with decreased reimbursement, and they're distracted too. So you have to be your own best person, and understand and ask questions, and don't be afraid to ask questions. And a doctor should ask the patient, can you please repeat what I told you? Because patients only retain 30% of what they're told. That's why you have to ask them to repeat it and also write it down. So when they leave the office, they have something to refer back to. And that's another good use of the internet, is to have a place where patients can go to reinforce what you tell them. So we talked about marketing not being is the only thing. And then you mentioned multi-channel marketing, which means having more than one method to appear in front of your customer or client or patient. And there's both online and offline. And offline, you have print, which you're expert in, but you also mentioned, verbal communication. And I think that's a great art that's been lost, is our ability to properly communicate with people, especially young people. All they know how to do is text, the millennials, and they don't know how to communicate and with people. And that's why the meetings that we have at Chamber are so interesting and informative, because you have people caring about other people, where they don't put their business in first. They put their interest in other people, helping other people in their business. And that's a force multiplier when you have that many people that are in the same boat as you. You're not trying to row the boat by yourself that's taking on water. You have people in it that help you bail out the water and patch the holes and help build a bigger ship together. So competition is actually good, because competition should be coexistence, because it forces you to constantly improve, to deliver better product to your patient or client, to your customer. If there wasn't any competition, there'd kind of be a laissez-faire, leave well enough alone, and as long as I have enough money to put food on my table and a roof over my head is enough. But now you really have to ratchet up your game, and really spend time creating an experience and Disneyfying your business, through both print through all the touch points and impact points that you have with your target audience. And you also have to, now when you market, you have to look at their stage of awareness and their stage of sophistication. And you don't really market the same way to, you have to market differently to different audiences. They may not even know you exist, or there's so much competition that you have to change the message that you're getting to the market. That why are you different? So it's a lot more complicated now, but still it's back to the basics. And you and your company are excellent in both the basics and the advanced way to communicate in print to your customer. And I'm blessed to have you as a friend, and also Jim.
Ditto.
And also Jim and the member. It's funny that in my younger days I worked at Union Hospital, and Jim was there for about 1 year that I was there, but I never met him. And you had a relationship with Union Hospital too, on
Yes.
charity and stuff. So it's like Back to the Future.
I know. It's like what goes around comes around. And I just have to interject and say, when you mentioned about Disney and the weeds, I really believe that perception is everything, because just yesterday I was outside and my husband is a major gardener, and he's doing all kinds of work outside. So we had last year decided to grow like purple thyme in between our pavers. I thought that would look really pretty. So I saw all these little leaves coming up, and I said, "Oh my God, JC, look, it's the purple thyme. It looks so beautiful." And he said, "That's not purple thyme. Those are weeds." And I was like, "But they look great." So who cares that they're weeds? It's really perception is everything. And that's how it is in business also. It's how people perceive your business to be. And if you pay attention to all of those details, I say, God is in the details, and differentiation of who you are as a business is also in the details that you pay attention to in your business. And the other thing that I wanted to just sort of build on was the verbal communication. I really feel like that during the pandemic, everybody's become like an expert texter. And sometimes when I see my staff like about to send an email to somebody with some information that really requires a phone call, I say, don't just email, don't text, pick up the phone and call somebody, because you often get a different perspective by talking to someone from their tone of voice, and they're able to elaborate a little bit more than on an email or a text. So I'm in total agreement with you that we need a lot more of that verbal communication. And we're looking at a new phone system in our office, and the salesman was selling me on, "Oh, you can have automated attendance, and they can refer the call." And I said, "I don't want automated attendance. I never want an automated attendant to answer my phone. I want it to be answered by a human being." It's too frustrating to have that impersonal sort of answer to a phone when somebody's made the effort to call us. I think there should be a human voice at the other end.
I agree with you 100%. And one of my friends, Brett Lavender, actually teaches people how to better communicate. He's called the persuasive line. And I've been working with him, and he's about to do work with JP Morgan, and he's ready giving talks at Google. So it's a lost art, this lost art form, how you communicate, not just verbally, but your body, how like the podcast, how you dress up your place, how you in real estate, they there's a term for, they bring furniture in and they jazz it up, stage. So
Staging, yes.
So we're all on a stage, and how you have to present. This is your one chance. And people talk about B2C, business to customer, or B2B, business to business, but it's really people to people, because that's who you're selling to. You're not selling to a business, you're selling to a person. And
Exactly.
have all their quirks, and that can have a good good day, bad day. The wife yelled at them before they got home, or they know they're going to be yelled at when they come through the door. That's what wives do. But
oh, come on.
my wife doesn't listen to the podcast, so I'm safe. But it's it's a lot of fun, and it's frustrating at times owning a business. And I was reading Seth Godin's new book, This is Marketing, and it's all about changing culture. That's what we're trying to do, change culture. And it doesn't happen overnight. That's why it takes so long to build a brand. But most of us aren't building a brand per se. We're just trying to survive and build a business. So that's why, again, experience. You don't know whether someone's going to be there for one time at our imaging center or multiple times. So you really have to make their one time their best time, not knowing what the future holds. So one of the things that we do is we, after patients have their study, we ask them on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to refer your family or friends to us, and why? And we asked about their experience at front desk, the tech, their overall experience. And you get good insight on, the quality of your interaction at front desk, from, scheduling, how easy it's to schedule, to, how the technicians treated them, whether they spent time to discuss, what they were going to have, what procedure, and they answer any questions. So it's important. They talk about walking by or managing by walking around, and you really have to find out what's going on, whether it's mystery shopping, where you call or have someone call your business and see how they answer the phone. And that's one of my pet peeves, that most of the time you call and, hello, can I help you? They don't say the name of the company, they don't say who they are. And to me, that's disrespectful. Or the other thing is, hello, can you please hold, without even know who's on the phone.
Right.
And that's just poor phone etiquette. And you can die of 1,000 little cuts or one major one. Most businesses die of 1,000 little cuts. It's the things that the owners don't see. It's the dust under the carpet that unless you lift up the carpet, you're not going to see it. So
That's true.
It's extremely difficult now to run a business because, one, you can't get good staff. It's all around, whether in health or other businesses. They're offering bonuses to sign to work at Wendy's. And they're offering like $13 to $15. So they're paying above minimum wage because they can't find it. I've gone to a number of restaurants where they can't have indoor seating because they don't have staff to manage it, to run the.
I know. My heart really goes out to them.
But so,
and one of my pet peeves about calling, particularly a medical office, is when the phone is answered, I'll say, "Hi, I'm Sharon Patel. I'm a patient of Dr. Smith." And then immediately they say, "Your name, your birthday," and I'm like, oh, do they not have a little pad next to their phone where I said my name is Sharon Patel and I'm a patient of? They just say name, birthday, and it's so impersonal. And I feel with a little bit of training, a medical office, like you said, they're in a highly competitive, time-constrained business, that if they just had somebody trained who adds a little bit of personality to the phone call and pays attention to it, I think that they would do a better job of retaining patients.
Oh, absolutely. That's why, our office manager, Eliza, spends a lot of time up front answering phone calls because she's been trained. She's been with us for over 20 years, and
wow.
It's great. And if the patient has a problem dealing with it, kind of find out what the problem is and resolve it. Two, if the patient has any apprehension, like if they feel they're claustrophobic, she'll arrange to have them come in ahead of time, that they can actually go and sit in the machine to make sure they feel comfortable. So it's critical that the person that has the first contact with your client, patient, customer is the most important person in
Yes.
in your business, as well as the complaint department. That there's a, I forget the term, but there's a Chinese martial arts where you take the power of the enemy and turn it against them. So in this respect, take the problem and make it an opportunity to improve the relationship with the patient or customer or client. So, both the front office and the back office are extremely important in any business.
Yes.
And it's the areas where most businesses try to save the most money. They have the least trained, the poorest paid person answering the phones and dealing with problems. And, I don't know how much money you leave on the table and you lose by not addressing those two touch points, or there's another term, constraints, because those are two constraint areas in your business that if you don't have good front desk and you don't have people handling problems, you're going to die over time.
Right. Makes a huge difference. The other point I wanted to bring up, which you had talked about, is how how you follow up with patients. And in our business, many years ago, like probably 30 years ago, we thought we should follow up with every job that walks out of our shop. And what we did was we created a comment card based on maybe a dozen different touch points of their experience, and just rated it like 1 through 10, and had a postage paid. So people just had to fill it out and send it back. And they had an opportunity to check a box if they wanted to be contacted, or they could do it anonymously if they wanted to report something. When we first did it, I was a little bit nervous because I thought, oh God, what if I'm going to feel horrible if I get responses that are negative. What we found was that 99% of the cards that we get back, and we still use them today, have wonderful things to say, or, in fact, we've used them as testimonials. And if something comes through where somebody had a less than excellent experience with us, we use it as an opportunity to call that person and to try to remedy whatever was missing from our transaction, or if they weren't happy, to find a way to make them happy. And I feel that's one very small thing that we've done in our business that has really strengthened our relationship with our customers, because many people view a problem as something that they don't want to deal with, when in reality, when you solve somebody's problem that they have with you, it actually strengthens their relationship with you, because now they know if something ever does go wrong, they can trust that you're going to be there to make it right. And so they want to come back, and they feel even better about it because they know that unknown of, well, what happens if I'm not happy? They know exactly what will happen and that you're going to make it right. So I encourage all businesses to have some type of follow-up mechanism in their transactions to see how their customers or patients or clients really felt about the experience that they had in your business.
No, absolutely. But the other thing is, the people, your customers that don't fill it out, there should be a follow-up with them, because one, they may have forgotten or thrown it out, or two, they had such a bad experience, they don't want to waste their time. They're never going to use it again.
Right.
So there should be a verbal communication on the people that didn't fill it out,
Right.
to make sure that everything's okay. And it also builds another touch point, another bridge for you to go over. Again, Steve Covey talks about the speed of trust, and empathy and trust are the two biggest. If I was to use a business, the thing, do I trust them? Do they feel my pain? Do they have a solution to my pain? I just had a podcast with an attorney, and it's called empathetic listening, that you have the injured person tell their story, that they feel like they're listened to, that they're heard. And a lot of times people don't know how to listen. They don't know how to ask questions either. And it's sometimes more important the questions you ask than the answers you get. So I know time is going a little bit, but I want to spend time on, the value of building, networking and building relationships. You touched on it a little bit with the Chamber of Commerce. We want to go into it a little bit further.
So I mean, for my personal experience, because I've been involved a lot in the community over a long period of time, I have many different networks that I foster, and I follow up with people and I talk to them. And it's not just because I want them to do business with me. I really value the relationship. A lot of these people have become my friends over the years. But one type of network that I really encourage businesses who want to grow their business to think about joining is a networking organization. There's two that I know of in New Jersey. One is called BNI and the other one is called LATIP. And these organizations typically meet once a week, and they typically meet early in the morning, like at 7:15 in the morning, and the meeting is over with at 8:30. And these two groups allow one of each type of business into their organization. So if I'm a printer, there can't be any other printer in the organization. So typically you end up with a group of 12 to 24 business people representing all different sectors of the business world. And every week you get up and you talk for 30 seconds about your business. So you get a chance to really fine-tune your elevator speech and be able to convey what you do in a very short amount of time. And you listen to what everybody else does. And then once a week, one person gets to talk in an expanded way, like for perhaps 10 minutes, about their business and the type of clientele that they're looking for. So this organization, in a sense, becomes a sales force for you, because they're out there looking for business. If I'm talking to you, Steve, and you said, "Oh God, I'm doing a major contracting work at my home, and I need a good contractor." If I'm in a group that has a contractor who I think would work well with you, I'd say, "I know somebody. Here's their card." So that's one form of networking that is really business to business, and it's really about making contacts who will help you grow your business. But you also develop so many relationships with people who can be a fabulous resource to you. I was in one of those I've been in a couple of those networking groups. I'm not in one right now. But I remember the first one I was in, which was a good 20 plus years ago. I still do business with people that I met through that group. So that's one form of networking that I highly recommend for just about any business, because even if you don't gain a lot of business from it, which you certainly will, you gain the experience of thinking on your feet and being able to stand up and in 30 seconds talk about your business and make it interesting, so you're doing something a little bit different every week, so that a larger group of people really understand what you're doing as a business and what your goals are.
Someone just changed the name instead elevator pitch to elevation pitch.
I like that.
Because you want to portray yourself and be a preeminent authority, where you're a trusted advisor, that people come to you for advice and for direction. So every business person should try to be preeminent, because all the different, Jay Abraham talks about levers in your business. There's probably 30 different ways that you can, with little money, little risk, increase your bottom line. And preeminence is kind of the fulcrum over which all of them pivot. All the levers pivot, just like a teeter-totter, the preeminence. So, doing podcasts, being members of groups, it helps build your identity. And if you contribute them, you become a trusted advisor and friend within the group. And that, in a sense, you become more preeminent. And that allows you to do what's called preemptive marketing, where now you can take the top position, the pole position, or claim the hill, and because now you can offer something no one else does. And that's important, especially in a competitive market, that if you can offer something, whether something small or something large, that's different, and allow that to be communicated to your target audience, that's huge. But
Huge.
so, what?
One more thing that speaking of networking, that I feel very strongly about is I'm a longtime and very active member of our Rotary Club of Union. And Rotary is a service organization whose goal it's about humanity and making the community and the world a better place. And typically Rotarians meet every week, and they work on different service projects that strengthen the community and help out organizations and people who are in need of it. But in the process, you get to know and work together with a group of community leaders who have that same goal of, service above self and strengthening the community and making a difference in the world. And that has been an organization that I didn't expect to get any business from it. I did it because it really tugged at my heartstrings. But in the process, I do business with a great number of the people who are in the Rotary Club, because over a period of time, not instantly, when you're working together on projects and people see they can trust you, they like the way that you work, they see that you keep your word and all of these qualities that are important in business, then they associate that with you. Then when they do need a printer or someone to help with a design project or design a logo, they're likely to think of me because they've worked with me and they know me and they trust me. So that's just a great unexpected benefit of an organization like that. But it's also one of the finest networking organizations in the world, because it's an international organization, and it's a great way to get to know people who are interested in making a difference in the world and community. So you're working with a group of like-minded people, and it's nice to do business with like-minded people also, because you find that your whole business environment and business culture is pleasant because you're working with people who are reflections of you and aspects of yourself that you have fostered over a great amount of time. So I also encourage people who think like that to think about joining Rotary, because it's a fabulous organization with amazing people in it.
Well, people are attracted to people just like you, just like yourself, because you're looking for a common language, common experience, common enemy, if you will, common goal in a positive way. So, again, it's all about building trust, caring about people. So there's the empathy again. So it's important, but I truly enjoyed our time together.
So did I.
I know this was your first podcast, and you did great. Did great.
Thank you.
Look forward to talking to you in the near future, and hopefully soon seeing you in person. And
yes,
we have a great Chamber of Commerce and Union. Jim is running a great ship, and
yes,
look forward to actually interviewed one of the chamber members, Andrew Isolino, yesterday. Oh. He's a physical therapist. Turns out his father is a chiropractor that 21 years ago I brought my mobile MRI unit to him. So it's a small world.
See, we talk about it being a small world and the 3 degrees of separation now.
No, it's just I truly enjoy these podcasts. I enjoy talking to people and getting to know them, and it was a treat spending time with you today. I'm sure the audience will get a great education on what Patel Printing does and what marketing does in general. And I want to thank you for your time, and be safe and be well.
Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate it. I always love talking to you, and I think it's wonderful that you are doing these podcasts and sharing them with the chamber. And I love what you do. Thanks a million, and have a great day.
Yeah, one last thing. You have to tell JC he has to get a Latin book out and name all the weeds.
I'm going to. I love that idea. I'm going to do that.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Dynamic Radiologist Podcast. Make sure to click subscribe to get updates on our latest episodes.